Brodes Media.
It doesn't feel right for me to sit here and do the obnoxious laugh, even after this win. And I've been very vocal about appreciating the run that the Eagles are on. Appreciating every single moment of Jalen Hurts, because one day you're going to look back and you're going to cry, hoping and praying you can find someone as magnificent as QB1. And I stand by that. I want you to think of this episode as an opportunity for me to just get a lot off my chest. But by Tuesday, Wednesday, I know I'll probably feel differently. I think maybe I'm wrong, but I'm ticked off. And I normally appreciate 4-0 starts, going on the road, beating a BUCS team that was undefeated, 100-degree weather, all that in play. Thinking you're due for a loss eventually. These first 4 games were very difficult on paper and blah, 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 blah. I'm normally more than just a glass being half filled with this group with their consistent level of winning. They deserve a long leash and a big benefit of the doubt. And I still believe in them, obviously. But for the short term, let me get a lot of things off my chest and don't rip me for it, big picture. That second half is disgraceful. And I go back to something that I feel in my core, and there is something structurally fucking flawed. There's no way in hell you go from what you did in the first half to not being able to even get a completion in the passing game in the second half. Where again, you're looking at negative yards. Something is fucking broken if this offense is only recording negative yards. It's unacceptable. I was willing to give them so much love and so much appreciation, Kevin Patullo included, for the sexy red zone plays, those passes to Dallas Goedert. The fake tush push, unreal. I even saw a designed run for Jalen to take it up the gut, where it all started with a motion pre-snap from the right side of the line all the way to the left side. You could see the defense was glued on the motion, but it was all by design to confuse them, and Jalen takes it up the middle for a good gain. They were so prepared for all the blitzes. They knew Todd Bowles was going to throw a lot Jalen's way. Bang, had an answer. Bang, had an answer. Bang, had an answer. They were doing everything. Dallas Goedert in the second level, over the linebackers' heads, in front of the safety, right on the money. Boom. They were doing it all. Special teams. They blocked a punt and took it to the house for 7. Right after what happened with Jordan Davis against LA. So dialed in. You couldn't ask for a more determined start. How does it get that gross and that ugly? They won the football game, Brodes. I know. Let this episode be an opportunity for about 30 minutes just for me to let it rip, because I'd be lying to you if I didn't walk away from that game feeling disgusted. Like, I feel gross right now that you had to hang on for a win like that. And look, the defense, man, those 70-plus yard plays were backbreakers. Makuba, I have no clue what you were doing on the first one. Don't know how the ball even zipped through 2 defenders like that, but where was Makuba going earlier? But at the same time, I realize if all offseason long I'm going to say CJ GJ being gone is okay, and you have a young Makuba in there where you have to live with the ups and downs, well, this is part of the downs. It can't happen. It pisses me off. But you got to know a rookie's going to make boneheaded mistakes. You have to live with that sometimes, and that's sort of what happened there. And then with Jahad Campbell on a running back, there's no pass rush. And we knew they were limited in pass rush without Nolan Smith being available, but there's no damn pass rush. And when Baker Mayfield has 57 seconds in the pocket, eventually Jahad Campbell's probably going to lose a running back in coverage. And that's what happened. But outside of those plays, I mean, when your offense is going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out in 100-degree weather, they're dying on the field. So the fact that they can still survive, make a play where Jahad Campbell, Reed Blankenship gets the tip, and then Jahad Campbell gets the interception in the end zone, that's insane. Q was all over the place, telling the young pup, yo, it's cute what your stats were prior to this week. I'm a different fucking animal. I'm putting you in jail. And I think as time went on, you could see there were more hands-on play by Q, and maybe he was just getting tired. Maybe it was the sun beating them down because they were out there so much. But he was insane following all game long. You survived with Ringo. I did think that you could see the difference, the tackling by Zach Bond, the tackling by Campbell when he pops Bucky into the ground. I don't want to ever see anybody get hurt, but that's the difference in tackling. Ringo is soft as baby shit. He had the one play where he did a good job of being in an area of space long enough for his teammates to help gang tackle, even though he should have been able to wrap up and tackle. He didn't, but his teammates had his back and helped out there. But you survived with that. DeJean is ridiculous with his tackling. Zach Bond, obviously, he's chasing guys down where there should be a 5, 6, 7-yard gain. He stuffs them at the line of scrimmage and forces the Bucs to have to, have a 4th down conversion or a 3rd and short conversion instead of it being 1st and 10 and the chains moving. But you took advantage of some turnovers, right? The turnover with the fumble. You put it in the end zone right after that. There was a big Jalen Hurts 3rd and 5 run where he gets to his left, he gets the 1st down, and before you know it, it's in the back of the end zone. So how, even with that turnover and with punching it in for 7, was it an 8-point game? It's inexcusable for the offense to have 3 straight passes to A.J. Brown where there is nothing creative about it. Well, why can't A.J. get the ball? Did you see that series? The A.J. Brown series. That's what I like to call it. Did you see that series? There's something structurally wrong. He was targeted a good amount of times. He had 2 receptions for about 7 yards. There's got to be something drawn up better for A.J. Brown. And if the case is Todd Bowles made sure they were selling their soul so A.J. Brown can't beat you, that means there should be something so wide open within your scheme that you pick that apart over and over and over again to the point where Todd Bowles has to adjust because they're dying by the other opportunity, which then reopens up back A.J. Brown if they go that route, or they just die because you're just constantly targeting whatever is open. But that's not the case here. It's just all out of whack. It's all out of sync. It's broken. Saquon Barkley not being able to get any run game going, there's something being told to the other team. There's a tell. There's a reason why he's getting suffocated that badly at the line of scrimmage. Something isn't right. He can accidentally get 90 yards. It shouldn't be this difficult for him to get the yard total that he's getting on a game-to-game basis right now. Hell, it got to the point where he was reaching out to Adrian Peterson asking why maybe there's some tells going on. So there's something happening because there was a viral video with him and the way his head moves pre-snap and the way that his head is moving on passing downs compared to running downs. And that's one example of a tell. But I'm telling you, the pistol, the formations, people have been screaming from the mountaintop since week 1 that there is something so basic and vanilla and stupid and fraudulent about the way Kevin Patullo was trying to run the football and establish Saquon Barkley within this scheme. I don't understand. It really pisses me off, and it makes my blood boil. Jalen Hurts on the win. Great team win. Another gritty win coming in and finding a way. Of course. And I do want that to be the number one thought. That is something that I do enjoy and take a lot of pride in. They're 4-0 again. You can't stop them. If you're not going to beat them when you're up 26-7, and you allow the Birds to fight back and crawl back and win that game, then how will you beat them? And I don't want to hear for a damn second, well, you got lucky because there was no Mike Evans. No. You didn't get lucky. We had no Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith is our best pass rusher. We didn't have our best pass rusher. And that's part of this. You need to have depth. You need to have answers for when you lose guys. We didn't have Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson had to leave the game. We traded with the Jacksonville Jags for a Fred Johnson. We had Matt Pryor in this game. He stinks. Jalen Carter was on the sideline for a bit. That's the nature of the beast. That's part of being a winning culture and a winning DNA. You got to be able to withstand that stuff. That's how championship caliber teams are built. And speaking of that fire, that snarl that I saw at a Q early, you got to find that line, right? Because I actually love the fact that he's getting in the face of Wirfs. That's a big dude. You got to pick your battles properly in this league. And for a second, I went, is that really the battle you want to show? But I like that. With that said, though, you got to show emotion within the right frame of mind, if that makes sense. It's got to be controlled emotion. Cooper DeJean with the AI step over. These are penalties now. And it's stupid that it's penalties. The league blows. The NFL sucks when it comes to those type of penalties. But it's a penalty. You're not going to change the league if you continue to do it. You're just going to continue to get flagged. So, Coop, you can't do the step over. And Q, you can't get in the face of anybody, even if Baker Mayfield's chirping at you first. You got to be better. So part of me loves the intuition there and just that nastiness and the... I mean, here's Q. Seriously, think about it. Quinyon Mitchell is staring in the face of Wirfs and grabbing his face mask and letting him know it's going to be a long day. That means something. That sends a message. That sets a tone. But I can't have you giving the other team a bunch of yards because they were not disciplined today. And let me take a shot at Nick Sirianni for a second. Was Nick Sirianni controlling his emotions when he's barking at the other team's quarterback as the Eagles start to crumble? Coach. Nah, that doesn't fly with me. I don't want to see replays of you barking at players on the other team when your offensive unit is lost. When your offensive unit, you can't be playing Tommy Toughnuts and then hold on for a win. And, you see your team was straight up flatlining. Dead offensively, literally dead. Yet you're worried about what the other QB is doing. How about we focus on why we look like a big pile of you-know-what? How come you're not focusing on the fact that we need to get back to detailed football? That irritates me. I love Nick Sirianni. Need to get stuff off my chest.